Hi there, it's Liz Yule from Old Stables Crafts again. I am going to apologise in advance. I have managed to pick up a chest infection, so I am going to sound a little hoarse and probably as if I am doing some heavy breathing, and I may have to cough. So, just so you know. However, I am feeling a lot better, so hence I am back filming. So, what have I got today? Today I have got this cute little box, and it holds an Ikea large candle. This is one of the lilac candles, and I thought it went very well with rich raspberry, and this is Island Indigo, which I thought was a good foil to it. It's a nice snug fit. It uses the Eastern Palace stamp set and finlets. These are fantastic. These in particular make the most amazing combination of doilies, and they are interchangeable, so you can switch out the various the three sizes of outside, middle and inside. You can just use one, you can use two, you can use three, you can, you know, it's just amazing. And these inner sizes also fit inside this little frame here. So they fit in there. So the possibilities are endless. I am trying to work my way through them all, but we're starting with something simple, which is using these two. I've actually used an old ribbon here. This is currently on the clearance rack. It was one of the Christmas ribbons for the 2016-17 autumn-winter catalogue, and it comes in a trio set with rich raspberry, mint macaron, and delightful Dijon, and this is the delightful Dijon version. And I just thought it set this off really nicely, and as I've got some left, I thought I would use it. But it's on the clearance rack at the moment. It is reduced from £10 to just £4. So I will link that below, well, in the blog post, which will be linked below, so that you can see that. So really good time to go and have a look at the clearance rack. There are some amazing bargains to be had over there. So do have a look at that, and also have a look at the retirement list, because there are some really good bargains there as well, and some get them while you can items. So I am doing I've made this one, so I'm going to make a slightly different one version today, and this is using this candle, which, although it doesn't look like it, is not a plain. It's the Ikea vanilla scented. So this one was lilac, and this one is vanilla. I didn't want to go with white because it's not, and I didn't want to go with very vanilla because it's not quite. So I've gone with Sahara Sand and Blushing Bride, and I'm using some of the Blushing Bride stitched ribbon, which is retiring. I think it may have gone. If it hasn't, it's very low inventory. But if you've got some left, then obviously that's brilliant, and obviously you can do different colourways. So let us start. Pop that out of the way and that out of the way. I'm going to start by doing the big shot work. So I'm going to use these two dies. Those don't go in there. I will also be using this stamp, which I've already mounted on the C block, so my brain really isn't quite with it today, as you will gather. The catalogue says that the Eastern, what do they call them, medallion thinlets should be used with the precision base plate, particularly these intricate ones. I have to say, I haven't yet used it with the precision plate. I have worked them with no problem at all on the ordinary cutting plate. I have been using the magnetic base plate, however, because that does make nesting them much easier. I hadn't actually noticed that we were supposed to be using the precision base plate. So, yeah. I wouldn't get too worried about that. So, I've got a scrap, and I really do mean it is, you know, a tiny piece. It is roughly 2 3/4 inches square, This is the magnetic plate with obviously a very well used cutting plate, and I'm just going to mount these up. One of the things to bear in mind when you're pulling it off the double-sided tape when you get them is that it is quite easy to bend some of these dies. This one in particular is beginning to look a little bent. I must put it on a magnetic sheet to stop that happening, but do bear that in mind. So I'm using the magnetic plate so that I can do this. You could otherwise use a bit of washi tape or something like that, and as you can see it's got a bit of a life of its own. I would always go with what this middle piece wants to do and then place the frame around it. Then another cutting plate on top, and I shall just run this through off camera. So, whoops, bash the tripod, why don't I? So that's that one. Let's get that back on here. Actually, that goes, no it doesn't, it goes there. And then this. Now, this one is actually quite clever, as is this one and this one. In fact, all of the outside one, no, that's not right. 4 of them don't actually cut all the way through, including that little inner one, which does this little clever little petal effect, which is really cute. So that's done. Let's get rid of the big shot and its bits. And I very stupidly brought out the wrong ink, so let's get the right ink, because I need Blushing Bride, and I brought out Sahara Sand, so that was silly. So I am going to stamp this after the event. You can stamp it before you run it through the big shot, but I actually think it's a little easier to do it after, but preferably without having popped up your little petals. This is where I've got to be quite clever, because I can't go immediately over the top because you're in my way. But it's all right, I don't mind you being in my way. So there we go. Oh, and I have actually caught that, which is why it would be better to do it before you've pulled up your leaves. However, I'm not going to worry too much about that for this. What I might do is stick some enamel dots over there or something like that. So we will sort that out as we go. Nothing quite like doing it as we go along. I've then got literally a scrap of copper foil, and I'm just using the 1/2 inch circle punch to pop a circle out of there. And I'm then just going to pop that in the middle of that little piece and put that to one side to dry. You don't need much of the multi-purpose glue, and preferably don't put it on your foil. That will come off once it's dry with the adhesive remover, which is a wonderful thing. Right, so that was that. Now, as far as the card is concerned, this is Sahara Sand. They are almost exactly the same size, but not quite. So the base, which is the smaller piece, is 4 5/16 square, and err on the side of being generous rather than not. She says, just checking. Yes, just slightly generous. I know there's not many trimmers that have 16ths on them, but we do. So 4 5/16, and then 4 3/8 for the lid. So it is just 1/16 bigger. I am not, I'm afraid, going to do metric, because I can't work out the metric with my brain the way it is at the moment. If I manage to, I will, but at the moment I haven't. And this is a piece of the ribbon, and it's cut at 10 inches. So, scoreboard. Yes, my brain really isn't doing what it should do at the moment, for which I have to apologise, but there we go. So this is really easy scoring. We just score everything at the 1 inch mark, and rather than trying to go across, because these are slightly strange size squares, it's much safer just to do everything on that 1 inch, I'm not quite sure it was straight, on that 1 inch mark. Then you know that everything is the same, exactly the same, because you do want this to be a square box and not a slightly not square box. So, bringing in our snips, let me just make sure I know which one is which. Right, so I'll do the base first, which is the slightly smaller one, and I'm actually going to do it from the back. I don't know if you can see those. In fact, let's find a... let's find my bone folder, which you would think would be on my desk, and I know is on my desk. I've got about 5 of them, and oh, there it is, hiding. It's amazing how you can lose a bone folder. I'm set up to film a number of projects, and it was caught in amongst everything else. So this, as I say, is the base. Let's score all of this, and then it'll be easier for you to see the crease lines. So the base, lid, and that's for my benefit as much as anything. Now, the exciting thing about the Eastern Palace suite is that it is in the new annual catalogue, but it's also going to be available in bundles for you as customers to order from the 1st of May. So bank holiday special. You can order it for the whole of May, and there are 2 bundles, and I've got details of that in my blog. And I will carry on talking about that in a minute. But what we're going to be doing here is just cut up so that you're cutting inside the crease line and then wedging out. If you cut inside the crease line on everything, then you know that everything's going to be square. So that was to the left, and this will be to the right. And we're doing this on each of the corners on both the top and the bottom. So the Eastern Palace suite, there are 2 bundles. There's the starter bundle and the premier bundle. The premier bundle has pretty much everything in it, including the dies. The starter bundle doesn't have the dies, on the basis that as a starting stamper you are unlikely to have the big shot. But it's got the papers and the stamps and 3 of the new in colour ink pads. So it's a really, really lovely bundle. I will check the price of that for you. Just bear with me one moment, because I've got it on my computer. I should have written it down, but as I say, my brain really is not doing what I want it to do at the moment, which is work at all. So I'm just getting that information up on my computer. So I say we're just cutting up and wedging out corners on both the top and the bottom. Right, so let's have a look. Okay, so the starter bundle has the stamps, the designer series paper, the vinyl stickers, and then 3 ink pads, which is Lemon Lime Twist, Tranquil Tide and Fresh Fig. I'm going to grab those. So that's these new in colours, which are lovely. The Lemon Lime Twist in particular, I wasn't sure about that, and I've started using it, and it's just amazing. It's really bringing a zing to all our colours. It's wonderful. So you get all of those. So the stamps, the designer series paper, and that specialty designer series paper with gold foiling on 2 sheets. And it's all based around peacocks. So it's got that sort of colour theme to it, but just with the Lemon Lime Twist as a pop. And then the gold vinyl stickers, which are medallions and straight pieces. Unfortunately, I haven't got those yet. And then, as I say, the 3 ink pads, and then free, the brand new, very vanilla note cards and envelopes, and you get those free, and that is £54.75, so including those free items, a brilliant starter kit. And then if you want the Premier set, you add in the Eastern Palace cardstock pack, the thinlets, which are the ones that I've just shown you, and then you get very vanilla envelopes and the new thick A4 cardstock free. Now that lot is £94, but if you want that, please don't buy it. If you want that, what you need to do is get the starter kit, because by the time you've added postage, the starter kit is actually only 5p more. So yeah, so you might as well get the starter kit, £130 of product. So you get the Eastern Palace Premier Bundle in your starter kit, and you get to choose another £31 and 5p of product. So what's not to like about that? And it then means you can get other stuff from the new annual catalogue before the 1st of June, because you'll be a demonstrator then and you'll get it at a discount. So that's a brilliant deal. Right, so just making sure I have got these the right way round again, because I really have no brain today. Right, so let's do the base first, which is this one. Fast fuse in all of the corners. Preferably without sticking yourself to your paper, and doing a string on your fast fuse. That is what you want to not do with your fast fuse. But hey, with my brain today, why am I surprised? So yes, don't worry about that whole signing up thing, because there actually is no pressure to become a demonstrator, holding parties type demonstrator. You can just be a hobbyist. So having put fast fuse in, we're just lining these sides up so that they line up with the creases. So yes, you can be your only customer if you want as a hobby demoist, although I have to say a lot of people who join as a hobby demoist do then just turn it into a business, which is brilliant, but is not a requirement. So there's your base, and that's a nice snug fit for your candle. So now the lid, same idea. So yes, if you are tempted by the Premier Bundle for the Eastern Palace suite, don't buy it as a bundle, buy it as part of your starter kit, and get really great value for money. And of course, you can get even more value for money by putting things that are discounted from the clearance rack or discounted on the retirement list into your bundle. So I'm going to have to cough. Bear with me one moment. So yeah, you can get even more value for your £130 worth of product, all for £99, including free shipping. And then you get a discount on your future purchases. So that's just brilliant. Right, so that's that. Let's pop our lid on. This is where I hope that I've got everything scored correctly, or indeed at all. You do sometimes just need to encourage it to go together, as in this case, because it is a snug fit, but as you can see, it is a fit. Now, it is because it's a snug fit, it's quite difficult to get on and off. So what I've done on my original is taken my half-inch circle punch, and then on the side that doesn't have the flaps inside, I am just taking a little, can you see that, a little piece out, just so that it's a finger grabber. Ooh. So let's pop that back on here. Nice snug fit, and now we've got, as I say, our little finger grabber. Now, before I finish this off, I'm just going to put this on. I'm going to get my adhesive remover and just take that little smudge of multi-purpose glue off the top, and probably in the process make it worse. No, that's better. Right, so that's that. Then on this, I'm just going to take, again, multi-purpose glue, and just a very small amount, if it would like to come out at all. run a small amount. You really don't need very much. Multi-purpose glue really is a less is more adhesive. If you think about the PVA glues that you can get in your local hobby shop, it's that you will think is brilliant value for money. You get pints, millilitres for much less than you would spend on your multi-purpose glue. However, you would need to use so much in order to get it to actually stick, because it's very thin, very watered down, that you would end up buckling your card. So frankly, it is better to spend a bit more on less glue, because in the long run it will be better value for money. Which I know is counterintuitive, but it is a much, much better glue. Right, so that's that. I would now just encourage you to lift your little petals up, just in case any of the glue has come inside, because otherwise the petals will stick down. And we will come back and put something on our little smudge, just to cover that up, because we always like to cover things up if we've got a bit of a boo-boo. Right, so there we are. Then to finish it off, I'm going to make this the back, if you like. So to finish it off, all I'm going to do is take some fast fuse and run it across the end of my ribbon, and then pop that on there, and then just on each side add another little bit of fast fuse, just to hold this in place. Now, here's the thing. The new annual catalogue has brought back the what do I use each of the adhesive for table. So there is now that guidance in the new annual catalogue. If you are not already on my mailing list and have already received my newsletter to say whether or not you are automatically going to receive a catalogue, if you would like a catalogue, which I'm happy to send out at no cost if you intend to buy through me, and I'll do that on an honour thing, then leave me a comment, email me through my website. There's the associated blog post is below, and there's a contact me section on that website. So if you email me with your address, name and address, and just confirm that you're intending to order through me, and as I say, that's obviously an honour thing, then that's great. I can only send out catalogues to the UK at the moment, so please, if you're overseas, I can't. Just grabbing my enamel shapes, which I've got in, this is a half wood case. These are the Blushing Bride. I think if we can't decide between the star and just a splotch. I think we'll go for the star. So where's my piercing tool? See, the trouble is, when you tidy up, you can't find anything. I would have put money on... Yes, I have put it away. If I put things away, I can't find them anymore. So there we go. Let's just pop that up again. So that's covered up our little smudge quite nicely. Had I done this in gold, I could have put one of the gold metallic shapes on, but I didn't, so I haven't. And we don't have copper shapes. So there we are. So that's the original. This is the new one. This is the hostess code that I am using until the 5th of May. So if you do want to order anything, then this is the code to use. It's on my website, so you don't need to write it down. But I'll also make sure that it's in the information information below. I hope you've enjoyed that. It's been a little bit of a long video, for which I apologise, but I hope you found that the information was useful. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more and you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, which is my smiley face, which will be over there if it isn't already. If you want to see more blog posts, because not all my blog posts have a video attached, if you go over to my website, which is, as I say, linked below, you'll see at the top there is a follow by email box. That's on the PC version, not on the mobile version. And if you want to join my newsletter, at the bottom of every post there is a sign up for the newsletter, and if you give me your birth date, then you get a birthday card from me as well. And that's anywhere in the world, although they may not necessarily arrive exactly in time for your birthday, because they do sometimes take a ridiculous length of time. However, there you go. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I will see you again soon. All the best. Bye.